Close your eyes for a moment and think about your earliest childhood memory. Really think about it. The colors, the sounds, the people in the room, the way it felt. Now, here's a question that might genuinely unsettle you. What if that memory, that vivid, detailed, completely convincing snapshot of your past never actually happened the way you remember it? What if your brain has been quietly editing, reshaping, and rewriting your own history without ever asking your permission? Because that is exactly what neuroscience says it's been doing your whole life. We treat our memories like footage, locked away somewhere safe in the archive of our minds. Faithful, accurate, retrievable, on demand. When we remember something, we trust it because it feels real. It feels ours. The idea that memory could be fundamentally unreliable is deeply uncomfortable because memory is how we understand who we are, where we've been, and what has shaped us. But the brain is not a camera, and memory is not a recording. Not even close. Here is what neuroscience has established about how memory actually works, and it is equal parts fascinating and humbling. Every time you recall a memory, you are not pressing play on a stored file. You are reconstructing it. Actively. In real time. Your brain pulls together fragments. Sensory details, emotions, context, expectations, and assembles them into something that feels complete and coherent. And here is the critical part. Every single time you reconstruct a memory, it becomes vulnerable to change. New information, current emotions, and outside suggestion can all alter the reconstruction before it gets stored again. Neuroscientists call this process reconsolidation, and what it means in practice is profound. The act of remembering something changes the memory itself. You are not retrieving the past, you are rebuilding it. Every time. And every rebuild introduces the possibility of subtle, or not so subtle, edits. Nobody has demonstrated this more powerfully than psychologist Elizabeth Loftus, one of the most important researchers in the history of memory science, in her landmark Lost in the Mall experiment. Participants were told 4 stories from their childhood, 3 of which were real, and 1 of which was entirely fabricated. The false story described getting lost in a shopping mall as a young child before being rescued by a stranger. Around 25% of participants not only accepted the false memory, they began elaborating on it, adding details, emotional texture, sensory specifics, to memories of something that had never happened. Loftus went further. In separate studies, she demonstrated that the phrasing of a single question could alter what people remembered seeing. Participants who watched the same car accident footage but were asked how fast the cars were going when they smashed into each other reported significantly higher speeds and were more likely to remember broken glass that was never in the footage. Then participants asked how fast the cars were going when they contacted each other. One word. Different memory. Every time. And here's where this gets truly remarkable. Research has shown that the memories we revisit most frequently are often the least accurate. Because every time we return to them, every time we retell the story at a dinner table, every time we reminisce with an old friend, we are reconstructing and reconsolidating again. Introducing new edits, smoothing over inconsistencies, filling gaps with what makes narrative sense. The memories you are most certain about. The ones you've told the most times. The ones that feel most vivid and most real. Those are statistically the most altered versions of what actually happened. Certainty and accuracy in memory are not just unrelated, they can be inversely correlated. The stronger a memory feels, the more times it has been reconstructed. And the more times it has been reconstructed, the further it may have drifted from the original event. Now, before this sends you into an existential spiral, here's the perspective that makes it genuinely wonderful rather than terrifying. Your memory is not broken. It was never designed to be a perfect recording. It was designed to be useful, to adapt, to integrate new understanding, to help you make sense of the present using lessons from the past, even if those lessons get refined along the way. The fact that memory is reconstructive is not a flaw in the system. It is the system, a living, breathing, constantly updating version of your own story. You are not the faithful recorder of your life. You are the author of it. Editing as you go. Making meaning out of moments. shaping a narrative that helps you understand who you are and where you're headed. The camera never captured you, but the story you're telling, that one is entirely yours.